Private Healing Diary Video 1 Part 2. So if you haven't seen Part 1, go and check it out or this is not going to make sense. So after I released, all that control issues and I started processing not only the things within my relationship, but the things that caused my emotions to spiral, caused my mental health to go downhill. I started noticing that my mental health also depends on the people around me. So if I'm listening, I'm a naturally happy, bubbly person, ADHD problems, all the negativity, I don't give a fuck. So I don't know why I'm always gravitated or I'm always drawing attention to the wrong people, but I'm guessing my light is too bright for those dark souls. They just need some healing, and I am here to help them, but they get triggered for it. And then it triggers those unhealed things within me because, sometimes I'm like, 111. Sometimes I want to fight, scream, yell, throw things, punch walls, release all that anger how I used to in a non-healthy way. But then I remember, dude, you're not 15 anymore. You're a grown-ass adult. Now, I was 34 at the time, but now I'm 35. But it's you're a grown-ass adult, and leave the childish shit to the kids. Leave the childish shit to the unhealed people. We have a mission, we have a purpose, and we need to get ready because for whatever I was manifesting, for the life I envisioned, I still want to help people. I still want to be able to help a lot of people who were like me or who are like me to kind of find their own way, to learn about their own gifts, to learn about their own spirit team, to learn about what's within themselves. Because in another video, I remember, I didn't post it, but I was talking about how I consider myself atheist. But it's just because it's easier to say I'm an atheist than to explain into depth everything that I believe in, from spirituality to, source, the universe. I personally do not feel comfortable labeling it God due to all the religion aspects. I am at war with the church. I do not like religion. All of it. None of it. What helped me was spirituality. Something that religion did not do. I've noticed a lot of people in religion and it baffles me. I understand that a lot of people think that, we're crazy for being spiritualists, for talking to spirits, for reading tarots, for, whatever you do, you consider yourself, and all the healing and being woke and believing in a whole different aspect of reality and the matrix, something that, normal people don't believe in. To me, all that religious people are just as crazy as we are to them. Does that make sense? Because I can't understand so many things that I'm not gonna say because I don't want to offend anybody. My old videos, I'm sorry for them. Those were my personal opinions. Please don't take it to heart. But I don't know, ya me hice bolas. I started somewhere and then I completely ended here. I do that a lot. The point was that I don't feel comfortable using that label, but spirituality helped me, and even though I say that I'm an atheist, I do believe in all of this, in past lives, in our spirit contracts, in everything being perfect. Right place, 444, right place, right time. There's no coincidences. Everything is like a matrix, like a video game. You can take it as a video game, which is a great example. Hold on. So if you guys haven't read this book, Path of Shadows by Morg, I'm not getting paid for this, but if you haven't read this, I totally recommend it. This is not for you that are about love and light and like only that side, because this is like some type of different acceptance of your shadow self. It's how to accept your shadow self. Um, in a way, this helped me start my healing journey because it allowed me to be at peace with the monster that I was and accept it. Though the day that I accepted who I was able to see what I needed healing, is the point. Because there was a lot of things in there that 555 that I didn't want to accept. I didn't want to see. And when I started accepting these type of sides of me, and I noticed these sides 0606, I also noticed which ones were okay to love and accept because they were part of me. It's, either impulse control, but like I'm not doing any harm to people, whatever it may be. It helped me heal the other half that was not supposed to be there. It helped me see that these things were a little too dark for me. Like, I not something I should not bring with me where I want to go. And it also explains about this being like a matrix or a video game. So this is where I got this idea from his book. I'm not gonna take credit for it because that's where I read it. Where he explains that life is like a video game where you can level up, and every lesson is the same. The avatar may be different. Like if you're going through a bunch of narcissists and they're all doing the same thing, or you're going through a relationship and it ends up always being the same thing. Like, what lesson are you not learning? What lesson is it supposed to be teaching you? Do not try to view it as, oh my God, poor me. Like, no, because that's what messed me up. It messed me up because I was like, dude, I'm a good person. Like, I've been doing all this for you. I've been helping you. I've been doing this, that, and you're gonna do me like that? Like the same way I told you that my past did, like the same way that I told you I had traumas in, like the same thing that you promised you wouldn't. Like stuff like that, you know what I mean? Like I would always take it to heart, and I wasn't paying attention to the bigger picture. So when I started paying attention to the bigger picture and I stepped back away from my feelings, because my feelings are my roadmap. My feelings are telling me that something is wrong. So once I acknowledged that something is wrong, and I also heard this from the friend that I was telling you about, when I acknowledged that something was wrong, then that's what I needed to correct. That's what our feelings are there for, not for us to continue to sit through them. Even though I did that so I learned when it was my fault. But if it's not my fault and somebody's doing something to me that hurts me, instead of me feeling bad for me or lashing out, fighting, doing something, like, I want to see a different perspective. I want to see the bigger picture. I want to see if there's a lesson here. I want to see if I can level up from this. I want to just see how it naturally unfolds. So I started doing all of that this past month, and things started getting better. Slowly but surely, they started getting better. They started turning around, and the more I started feeling again, and the more I started to feel like myself and feel like everything was going back to normal, and I wasn't sitting in a dark place anymore. I started making friends. At work, I made 3 friends. And, I've been trying to just be me again and not be so scared to be who I am. Because at the end of the day, the person that loves you will love you for who you are, not for who you're pretending to be, not for the person they need you to be, because they need to be whoever they need for themselves. Because you can't be what you need them to be, because it won't make you happy. It will drain you, it will keep you depressed, it will just put you in a dark place that you won't understand why you feel so heavy, why you feel so sad, you know? So whether it's a job, a relationship, with family, like, it doesn't matter. Your soul tells you, your feelings tell you. I saw 1111. Like, literally everything is screaming for a change. And when you start this healing journey and you start loving yourself, even the dark sides of you, because for me, I prefer balance. I prefer that balance where, like Baphomet, do no harm but take no shit. Like, there's just so much, because you can't just be all love and light. 1144, at least not for me, because I feel that if you're too light, you are gonna get stepped over, stepped on, whatever, played with. Yes, they're gonna pay their karma, but to what price all the time? There's times where you do need to step up. Well, in my opinion, my personal opinion, where you do need to step up for yourselves and defend yourself. I saw 1212. And defend yourself, because especially your inner child, because that's the person that you should be defending, that you that you should be protecting, that inner child within you, within yourself, because that inner child is also connected to source. Source is us. We are it. That's why we are all gods and goddesses. But, like, people don't comprehend that, because they think that we're taking credit for something that's not. But it's just a lot that I've been processing, as you can see. But, I recently, like, this whole past week, I know last week, I made a video that I don't think I post, but I was still a little, hopeful, down 1313. But I was getting out, I was doing good. I was starting to feel me again. I had my birthday, and then the next day I had a gift from the universe. And it just completely changed my mood. But just as quick as it changed my mood, I was tested again. With my healing, with everything. And honestly, I think I'm doing good, because even though, I had my little moment where I was in my feelings, where I was going crazy, where I was overthinking, because I'm an overthinker, that I did start to self-sabotage, that I did want to turn off my feelings, like, I was able to keep it together. 1414. I was able to pull myself out quicker. I was able to process things quicker. I was able to, like, do all of these things that back then it would just take me like 3 days. I know another video that got deleted was the rule of 3, which allows me 3 days to feel, 3 days to process, 3 days just to myself. 444. We each have our own patterns, and the reason why I love to isolate myself now is because now I get to see these patterns, on my own. I get to discover these patterns. Nobody has to tell me because I'm learning them for me. Like, I'm spending all this time with me, getting to know me, getting to vibe with me, getting to build this relationship with me, 15-15. Because building a relationship with me allows me to be connected to my team, allows me to be more connected to the signs, allows me to be more connected to source because I am it. So, call me crazy, but 90% of the time I'm right. And I mean, the other 10%, I do self-sabotage and I do need that other stuff, but we're getting there. But yeah, it's just been crazy because I've also been getting like hella signs about bats, um, about warnings, about tower moments, about a few names here and there, and then just weird things that I'm picking up. But 1616, I'm gonna take it 1 week at a time, and this week it was mainly with my anger that I was tested. It was mainly with my trust issues that I was tested as well. It was mainly with my self-sabotage, especially, and my jealousy. Other than that, like, I think I've been doing good. So far, so good. I think the only test that I failed within all of those was my anger. Okay, fine, and my jealousy too, apparently, because that's the song was playing. I don't like it when they're in my face. Like, I don't know who else can relate, but sometimes they do answer in record time. And on that note, I'm just gonna go ahead and end it. But yeah, if I can think of anything else for next week, then I'll make another one. All right, bye, you guys. Bubbles.